Okay, so everyone's saying I'm the bad guy here, but they didn't have to watch their husband completely let himself go and then act like I'm the problem when I finally said something about it. I'm Leah, 35, from Las Vegas, and let me tell you how my husband totally lost it at our neighborhood pool party and made me look like the villain when I was just being honest. I met Jack 7 years ago through mutual friends at this wine bar downtown. Back then, he was actually pretty good-looking, like he played baseball in college, worked out regularly, and had this confidence about him that made up for the fact that he was just a manager at Walmart. I know, not exactly my usual type, but he was funny and charming, and, honestly, I thought he'd eventually move on to something better. Fast forward to now, and wow, what a difference 7 years makes. I'm killing it in real estate, selling luxury homes to tech executives moving here from California, while he's still at the same Walmart, just with a bigger title and a way bigger waistline. Like, we're talking at least 60 pounds bigger. I've tried everything to help him, bought him gym memberships, got him those meal delivery services, even hired a personal trainer he never used, but he just keeps stress eating and making excuses about his demanding schedule. Jack's schedule, do you know how embarrassing it is when my clients ask what my husband does? I actually started telling people he's in retail management because saying Walmart is just, let's just say it's giving broke vibes. And it's not just his job, he's completely let himself go. Those nice dress shirts I bought him for client dinners, he can't even button them anymore. But when I try to talk to him about it, he gets all defensive and says I'm being shallow. Look, I get that his job is stressful, but my job is all about image. How am I supposed to sell multi-million-dollar homes when my own husband looks like he lives on a steady diet of the frozen pizzas he stocks? The other real estate agents in my office have husbands who are doctors and lawyers. Meanwhile, I'm married to a guy who comes home smelling like the Walmart deli section and immediately crashes on the couch with a bag of chips. I tried to be patient. I really did. When he first started gaining weight, I kept my mouth shut. When he had to buy all new clothes because nothing fit, I only made a few comments about our budget, but it just kept getting worse. He stopped coming to client events with me, saying he felt out of place. Well, yeah, when everyone else is talking about their vacation homes and you're talking about dealing with shoplifters at Walmart, it's kind of a mood killer. The worst part is that he doesn't even try to fit into my world anymore. My clients invited us on their boat last month, and he showed up in cargo shorts and a stretched-out polo shirt. I literally had to pretend I had a migraine so we could leave early. It's like he doesn't understand that in my business, appearances matter. Every time he shows up looking like that, it costs me potential listings. And don't even get me started on our social life. I used to love posting pictures of us together. We were actually a cute couple once. Now, I haven't posted a full body shot of him in over a year. All our couple photos are old ones from when we first got married, when he still cared enough to watch what he ate and actually wore clothes that fit. I've tried everything to motivate him. I started working out more myself, hoping he'd get the hint. I bought us matching Apple Watches to track our steps. I even started cooking healthy meals, but he'd just stop at Taco Bell on his way home from work. Work anyway. It's like he's deliberately trying to embarrass me. The breaking point really started coming when summer hit. All our neighbors have pools, and everyone's always having these fancy cookouts and pool parties. Last year, I could at least count on Jack to wear a dark shirt in the pool, but this year, he's acting like he doesn't even care who sees him. Meanwhile, I'm working my butt off at the gym 5 days a week because my job literally depends on looking good. So when our neighbors announced their annual pool party, I knew it was going to be a disaster. Half my client list lives in this neighborhood, and they were all going to be there. I literally begged Jack to skip it, told him I'd say he was sick or working or anything, but no. Suddenly, he decides this is the hill he wants to die on, said he wasn't going to hide just because I was ashamed of him. That's the thing that drives me crazy. He tries to make me sound like this horrible shallow person just because I care about appearances. But in my world, appearances are a reality. You think anyone's going to trust me to sell their multi-million-dollar home if I can't even get my own husband to care about how he presents himself? This isn't about being shallow, it's about being professional. So the morning of the pool party, I decided to try one last time to get through to him. I laid out these really nice swim trunks I'd bought him, like designer ones that cost more than his whole Walmart wardrobe. But did he appreciate it? No. He took one look and said they were too small. Well, that was kind of the point. I was trying to give him a wake-up call. I ended up having 3 glasses of wine before we even left the house just to calm my nerves. Jack kept giving me these looks like I was the one with the problem. He even had the nerve to tell me I was being mean when I suggested he wear a shirt in the pool. I mean, hello? I was trying to help him save face, but no, he had to get all sensitive about it. The party started okayish. I was sticking with my real estate friends, pretending to be super busy with client calls whenever Jack came near our group. Everything was fine until dinner time. I'd specifically told him to watch what he ate. We'd even had this huge fight about it that morning, but there he was, loading up his plate like he was carbo-loading for a marathon or something. I kept seeing my clients watching him. You could tell they were wondering why someone like me was with him. Well, Bethany, she just listed her house with me last week, actually pulled me aside and asked if everything was okay at home. Like, how mortifying is that? Here I am, trying to close a $2.5 million deal, and my husband's over there double-fisting hamburgers. That's when I started drinking more. Can you blame me? Every time I looked over, he was either eating or talking to people about his fascinating job at Walmart. God, I wanted to die. Some of my biggest clients were there, people who probably spend more on pool maintenance than Jack makes in a month, and he's telling them stories about Black Friday chaos like it's something to be proud of. I guess the wine hit me harder than I realized because, next thing I know, I'm watching him go back for thirds. And something in me just snapped. All these months of frustration, all the embarrassment, all the lost opportunities because my husband couldn't be bothered to take care of himself, it all came pouring out. I don't even remember exactly what I said at first, but I know I was loud. Something about him being disgusting, about how he was embarrassing me in front of everyone. I might have mentioned how much his clothes cost and how he was stretching them all out. Okay, fine, I definitely said that part. And yeah, I called him fat, but I was just saying what everyone was thinking. What I didn't realize was that Alex, that messy girl from 3 houses down who's always trying to stir up drama, was recording the whole thing on her phone. Like, who does that? This was a private conversation between me and my husband that I just happened to be having very publicly because I was fed up. But Jack, oh my God, I have never seen him like that. Ever. 5 years of marriage, and I had no idea he could get that angry. He just exploded, started saying all this stuff about how I'm materialistic and cruel, how I care more about what my clients think than my own husband's feelings. He called me a gold digger who couldn't even get the gold part right. Can you believe that? In front of everyone, he went off about how I max out our credit cards on designer clothes, but make fun of his Walmart discount, how I'm so worried about appearances, but I'm ugly on the inside, his words, not mine. He even brought up how I lied to people about his job. I mean, technically, yes, I do that, but he didn't have to announce it to the whole neighborhood. The worst part? Some people were actually nodding along with him. Like, excuse me? Did they not see what I have to deal with? Did they not notice how he'd totally let himself go? But no, suddenly I'm the bad guy because I had the guts to say something about it. Things got really weird after that. Jack just walked out, didn't even try to smooth things over with anyone. Just grabbed his keys and left me standing there. Some of the women came over to comfort me, saying they totally understood my frustration, but I could tell they were just being nice. The men were all giving me these dirty looks, like I'd kicked a puppy or something. I woke up the next morning to my phone blowing up. Turns out, Alex had posted the video in our neighborhood Facebook group. At first, I thought it was kind of funny, like, yeah, I'd had a few too many drinks, but watching it back, I was just saying what needed to be said. I even liked the post and commented, sometimes the truth hurts, because, well, it does. But then things started getting crazy. People were sharing it outside our neighborhood group. Some of my clients saw it. My broker called me into her office and said we needed to have a serious discussion about professional image. Like, what does my personal life have to do with selling houses? But apparently, some clients were concerned about working with someone who would publicly humiliate their spouse. Whatever that means. Jack didn't come home that night or the next night. His sister called me, screaming about how she always knew I was terrible for him, how he deserved better, as if she has any room to talk. She's on her third marriage. But then she said something that actually got to me. She said Jack had been in therapy for months trying to deal with how I make him feel. Therapy? My husband? And he never even told me. I tried calling him, but he wouldn't answer. Finally, he texted saying he was staying with his brother and needed time to reevaluate our marriage. Can you believe that? He's reevaluating. I'm the one who had to watch him throw away his looks and our social status, but he's the victim. The comments on that video are brutal. Everyone's acting like I'm some kind of monster, but nobody's talking about how Jack let himself go. Nobody's mentioning how he embarrassed me in front of my entire professional network. Some people are even calling me abusive. Abusive, just because I had the courage to tell the truth. I keep trying to explain my side to people, but nobody wants to listen. My best friend Maria, who totally understood where I was coming from at first, stopped answering my calls after she saw the video. She said she needed to step back from our friendship. Even my mom, who's usually totally on my side, said I went too far. But what was I supposed to do? Just sit there and watch him destroy both our lives? The worst part came yesterday. Jack finally came by to get more of his stuff. And he looked different, like he'd already joined a gym, got a haircut, was wearing nice new clothes that actually fit. But he wouldn't even look at me. He just said his lawyer would be in touch and that he'd seen my comment on the Facebook video. He said it proved I wasn't sorry at all, that I actually thought it was funny to humiliate him in front of everyone we know. I tried to explain that I was just being honest, that everything I said came from a place of love and concern, but he just laughed. Not even an angry laugh, just this sad, tired laugh. He said he'd spent years believing there was something wrong with him, that he wasn't good enough. But now he finally saw the truth. I was the problem all along. Now my phone's full of messages from random people calling me toxic and awful. I had to turn off comments on my real estate social media because people kept bringing it up. 3 clients have already pulled their listings. The neighborhood women who defended me at the party won't even make eye contact when I pass them on my morning walks. And Jack? He's suddenly everyone's favorite person. Everyone's checking on him, inviting him places, telling him how much better off he'll be without me. I got served with divorce papers this morning. Can you believe it? He's actually going through with it. The papers even mentioned emotional abuse and public humiliation. Like, since when is telling the truth considered abuse? His lawyer included screenshots of all my social media comments about his weight, even texts I'd sent him about being embarrassed by him. They're trying to make me look like some kind of horrible person when all I did was try to motivate him to be better. The real estate office put me on a temporary leave of absence until this all blows over, but how is it supposed to blow over when that stupid video keeps circulating? Someone even made one of those TikTok reaction videos about it, calling me a walking red flag and talking about toxic wife behavior. It has like 50,000 likes. People who don't even know me are judging my entire marriage based on one bad day. Here's the thing nobody gets. I didn't want any of this. I wanted Jack to care enough about our marriage to take care of himself. I wanted him to understand that my career matters, that appearances matter, that you can't just let yourself go and expect your partner to be okay with it. But no, somehow I'm the villain because I said out loud what everyone was thinking. Jack's brother told me he's already lost 15 pounds since moving out. He's meal prepping, going to therapy, even got a promotion at work. Now he's telling everyone how free he feels, how he didn't realize how my comments were affecting his mental health. Please. If he could do all this now, why couldn't he do it when we were together? It's like he's trying to prove me wrong just out of spite. My mom says I need to apologize to try to fix things before the divorce is final. But apologize for what? For caring too much? For wanting my husband to be the best version of himself? Everyone's acting like I'm crazy for having standards, for wanting a partner. They're all so focused on how I said it, but they're ignoring why I said it. The worst part is watching him thrive without me. He's posting gym selfies now, going out with friends, even started dressing better. Everyone comments about how good he looks, how happy he seems. Meanwhile, I'm stuck here trying to salvage my career and reputation because people can't handle honesty. Some of my biggest clients won't even take my calls anymore. 20 years of building my business, and it's falling apart because I dared to tell my husband he was letting himself go. I did try to call him yesterday, actually got through for once. I told him I was willing to work on things, that maybe we could try counseling. You know what he said? He said, "Leah, the problem isn't that I got fat, the problem is that you think that's all I am." Then he hung up on me. Like, what does that even mean? I never said that's all he was. I just wanted him to care about his appearance as much as I do. So here I am, probably about to be divorced. My business is struggling, and everyone thinks I'm some kind of monster, all because I had the guts to say what needed to be said. Jack's out there living his best life, getting all this sympathy and support, while I'm being treated like I committed some horrible crime. Nobody seems to care about my side of the story. Maybe in a few months, when everyone calms down, they'll understand where I was coming from. Maybe they'll realize that sometimes you have to be cruel to be kind. But for now, I guess I'm the bad guy, just because I wanted my husband to look as successful as I am, just because I wasn't willing to settle for someone who'd given up on himself. If that makes me shallow, then fine. At least I'm honest about it. It's been 4 months since everything went down, and honestly, things have gotten even worse. The divorce is almost final, and you'll never believe what happened at the mediation last week. Jack showed up looking like a completely different person, down 42 pounds, wearing this really nice suit, probably spent his whole Walmart paycheck on it, and had this pretty paralegal with him who kept touching his arm and giggling. Meanwhile, my lawyer keeps telling me to be reasonable about the settlement. Like, excuse me, I'm the one who helped build Jack's career. Okay, fine, maybe not directly, but I gave him all that motivation to improve himself. Look at him now. He actually got promoted to regional manager, and now he's trying to argue that he doesn't owe me any support because I make more than him, as if that's the point. The real estate business is still a mess. I had to switch agencies because that video followed me everywhere. My new broker made me sign this thing about social media conduct. Can you believe that? She said something about rebuilding my personal brand. Please, my personal brand was perfect until everyone decided to get so sensitive about a little honesty. The worst part? Jack's actually dating that paralegal now. Her name's Anna, and she's like this perfectly average size 8 who posts all these body positivity quotes on Instagram. And Jack just eats it up. He's always in with heart emojis on her love yourself posts. Like, where was all this energy when I was trying to motivate him? I ran into them at Target last week. Yes, Target. Because apparently, that's where the happy couples shop now. They were all giggly in the home decor section, buying stuff for his new apartment. He didn't even look embarrassed when she grabbed his love handles and called them cute. I almost threw up right there in the throw pillow aisle. My mom keeps saying I should learn from this experience and work on myself. She even suggested therapy, as if I'm the one who needs help. I tried explaining to her that I was just trying to help Jack live up to his potential, but she got all weird about it and said something about toxic beauty standards and emotional abuse. Mothers can be so dramatic sometimes. Everyone's acting like Jack's this amazing success story now. Oh, look how good he looks. Oh, he seems so much happier. Oh, his new girlfriend is so supportive. Yeah, well, easy for her to be supportive when she got him after I did all the hard work of showing him what he needed to fix. You're welcome, Anna. I tried dating again last week. Went out with this really successful dermatologist, but halfway through dinner, he said he'd seen that pool party video and wanted to know if I'd done any self-reflection since then. I obviously blocked him immediately. Like, I need to be judged by someone who hasn't even seen my side of things? The neighborhood's still weird. People literally cross the street when they see me coming. The same women who used to ask me for real estate advice now act like I'm invisible at Starbucks. And don't even get me started on social media. I had to make all my accounts private because people kept sharing that video with comments about how not to treat your spouse. You know what really gets me though? Jack's whole transformation. Everyone's praising him for finding his confidence and choosing happiness, but nobody wants to admit that none of this would have happened if he needed that wake-up call. So, what if it was a little harsh? Look at the results. I saw on Facebook that he's running a support group now for people dealing with toxic relationships. The irony. I'm the one who helped him become someone worth dating, and now he's out there acting like I'm some villain in his success story. That video might have exposed me, but it also proved my point. He was totally capable of taking care of himself. He just didn't care enough to do it when we were together. So yeah, maybe I lost my husband, and maybe my business isn't what it used to be, and maybe some people think I'm this horrible person, but at least I stood up for my standards. At least I was honest about what I wanted. And you know what? The next guy I date will thank me for it, because he'll know right from the start that I won't settle for less than the best. And Jack? Well, he can enjoy his little glow-up and his perfectly average girlfriend. We'll see how long she stays so body positive when he stops going to the gym. But hey, at least I got out before I had to pretend that being unhealthy is somehow brave. Some of us still believe in having standards. In the end, we all know that life doesn't always go according to plan. The challenges, the setbacks, and even the unexpected changes can sometimes leave us feeling lost. But one thing is certain, you must always stand firm and be true to yourself. When you set standards for yourself, it's not to force others to change, but to push yourself to grow and become the best version of who you are. Sometimes, the hard decisions, the blunt truths, even if they hurt, can be the turning point that opens doors to new opportunities. Always remember, you deserve to have the life, partner, and future you want. Never settle for less just because of fear or the opinions of others. Live with passion, with confidence, and with the standards that you believe in. Ultimately, let your life and journey become an inspiration for those around you. Everything will be okay, as long as you stay true to your own path.